This is my review on Baddies USA Chapter 2, Episode 7. We first start off with Natalie entering the radio station because she booked a few of the baddies to go with her. Summer ends up at the radio station beforehand and then it's quickly cleared up that Summer had interviewed beforehand and decided to stay behind to then still be a part of the radio interview that they had, announcing that the baddies are in a certain state. Dolly looks amazing as always. I just don't understand why the wig isn't secured at the back. I'm not even trying to pick on her at all because I remember Dolly was also coming out of a wig collection called Baddie something, and I don't know what happened to the wig collection as well, so I would say this is like poor advertisement on her behalf. I feel like everyone looked amazing that walked in anyway, besides the comment I made beforehand. I do feel like Summer should have been removed from the room as well, especially when the professionalism isn't there, and I agree with Rayleigh as well. Summer and a lot of the other people aren't media trained, and there's a time and a place to be going back and forth and swearing and all that other stuff. And from my understanding as well, I thought that if you swear on radio, you get fined as well. So when they're saying the B word, they're saying the F word, they're saying all sorts of stuff, but calling anyone, the actual names, are they not getting unlimited fines? I feel like the radio host also lost control of the whole narrative and situation as well, and she allowed it to spill out because she's interested as a fan of baddies, but she needs to act like a professional and reel it back in if that's the case, rather than them going back and forth for no reason. I agree they should have removed Summer. I don't agree with DTB flinging a bottle of water at Summer as well, because what if that damaged any of the equipment there? It's expensive as well, and that would have cost you an arm and a leg. I could tell that Rowley was exhausted from the situation with Summer, so she kind of like mentally tuned out and was still annoyed about this whole situation. DTB was trying to reel it back in. I do feel like security was a shortfall on them because they should have removed Summer from the window as well instead of her banging on the window and distracting them from the actual interview that they were there for. I'm glad though that they were able to still finish the interview that they were there for as well. However, I do see why Natalie snatched the website from Summer. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Natalie pulled a lot of basically Natalie used her connections to help Summer get her business up and running and did a few other stuff. When Summer turned out to be ungrateful to her as well, and it doesn't even mean that she's ass kissed or anything like that, but when Summer then turned on Natalie out of nowhere and started talking crap at her online, she then pulled the website because obviously she had a web designer do it all for her, and then Summer basically lost out on some income because of it, and then she also pulled the Fashion Over deal as well because Summer doesn't listen. And the thing is, I thought the interview was messy because of Summer being there, whatever, but the host is messy herself, and this is what I mean with people having a radio show but don't know how to actually host or ask questions, because I would have expected the radio host to be asking questions about maybe the music that they have coming up, where they're performing, if there's tickets still available as well, and then also talking about maybe Natalie's label because she had a few of her artists there, and then also maybe DTB being signed, Dolly also have her viral music that's going viral as well, if she has record labels coming at her, if she still wants to be independent, if she's dropping a project, something like that. Rowley even does music as well. Cold Killer does, like, there wasn't questions answered about that. They were busy asking questions about Scotty, Natalie and Scotty, but that's not what we're here for. And I get why Rayleigh was defending her friend as well, because if someone's talking crap about your friend, you want to defend them even when they're not there. And also, I get why Rayleigh walked out of the interview as well. I feel like she's probably tired from what happened with Summer, and then she's over the messy questions as well, and she doesn't want anything to be misconstrued about if she said anything or if she did anything in regards to defending Scotty. I swear, Wet Wet is a character as well. I don't know if I said that right. Wet Wet. Ugh, my tongue. But I feel like if she's always in a good mood anyway though, but you just know Wet Wet is in a super good mood when she drops it low out of nowhere as well. I just love Wet Wet. I even forgot that Persuasion and Pressure are beefing, but I'm glad they were able to just cut their losses there because the fight doesn't need to be continuous when it was basically over nothing. I understand it was over, sorry, not even over nothing, sorry, I misspoke. It was over Persuasion getting involved in the fight between her and Tavy, and then jumping, or Pressure for Persuasion jumped in the fight during the auditions of Baddies Gone Wild and also Baddies. Also glad that Amber was asking Pressure these questions because Pressure has been on 10 and everything she thinks needs to result in a fade, when sometimes it just needs some verbal communication between both parties. I think the issue that the other girls are having with Neek is her accountability. Neek needs to understand she did imply, even if she didn't say the direct words or terms, she did imply that she wanted an alliance with them as well. However, I do understand Natalie is the one that was telling them that about alliances, whatever, because it seemed like everyone had similar or the same script as well. Because when DTB, who is also because obviously Natalie assigned people anyway, so she assigned Neek to look after the Baddies Gone Wild, not Baddies Gone Wild, the Cabaret girls. She assigned DTB to look after the Now That Zeus girls. She assigned Bahati to look after the Baddies Gone Wild girls, and they all had to talk about alliance to some sort of degree. That was the opening thing there, so I'm not sure if it's producer or Natalie that told her to say that. So I do understand where they're coming from as well. However, maybe Neek didn't believe that, but she could have said that as well in the same breath when they had that first meeting, rather than let them go under the impression or assumption that you were all in it together when you weren't. Amber calling out the fade wasn't really necessary. Maybe it's for Neek to keep her head on the swivel though, and just to inform her that, oh, when the reunion comes around or whenever I'm basically patched up or whatever, then we'll have to run the fade. But I just feel like by the time the reunion comes around, who knows what's gonna happen between the two. Neek is crashing out as well, and it's just like you didn't want the alliance. That's completely fine, but you were going back on your word. She just needs to take accountability, and that's it. Everyone will be able to move on. And I agree with pressure. I don't know why she was crying for it. It didn't need to get that way, but I guess she was drunk as well, from my understanding. So I guess the alcohol did a lot of the crying for her. Amber really thought she was a pianist as well on the keyboard. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? What is going on here? But it was a bit of comedy though. I can't lie, I laughed. But then also, I didn't understand. Again, who are these hairdressers that are on Baddies as well? Because the wigs are lifting after so long. Like, there's a lot going on. But, each of their own. Amber was funny. One thing about Tommy, though, she's got to have a drink in her hand. So I'm not really surprised at that situation when we walk in and we see her with a glass of, I don't know, Sauvignon Blanc or whatever it is. In regards to Wet Wet as well, I'm glad that we have the rehearsals finally after however long. Like, finally, the rehearsals are here. Wet Wet though is a character because why is she pouring water on herself like that? Then running through the fence and come back as well. But this is what I mean. I feel like Wet Wet should be a permanent cast member on Baddies because she brings entertainment. Yeah, she can't fight whatever, but she's always entertaining and always like brightens the room. I'm actually super proud of Biggie though, and where she's been able to go with the music as well. Then she has her dancers there as well. Big Lex was doing a lot of talking with someone that doesn't even have a good song out right now, doing Disney bop or kid bop music. Like, shut up. Because if we're going to keep it $150, Biggie is the star of Baddies in regards to music as well. Yes, Natalie has her music, DTB has her music, all these other people have their music, but Biggie is the one that actually has, I would say, even some sort of cultural impact as well, and she's representing. Although Natalie was telling the truth about Biggie, like running her mouth and not getting in the paint, Natalie was also being shady the way she delivered it. She could have had it said a different way, but she obviously was a bit tipsy from what Dolly was saying as well. I was so confused. I didn't know that Biggie now hired her own security, but I guess she doesn't trust Zeus security and she wants her own personal one for her own peace of mind. I was confused as to why she needed security on stage right there. I thought it was to do with pressure, but I wasn't entirely sure. I don't also know why Natalie was trying to deny that security should be on stage with her, and I get why Biggie was annoyed as well because you never know who's sneaking someone for clout or whatever. And bear in mind, Biggie has been snuck before, so I get why she is under the impression that she needs someone there as well to intervene if anything was to escalate. Again, why couldn't Biggie have her security on stage, especially if she's paying them as well? Natalie was just being messy because she wants someone to either get Biggie or allow her to be got to the point where security maybe gets involved after the fact. I feel like Tinker's very delusional, and I hope this is her last season as well because she's talking about, K Rika needs to thank me. You need to thank Cold Killer because the only reason you're still on the show is because you keep fighting her. You have no other storyline. You have nothing else going on. Music hasn't elevated. Nothing in your life has elevated. And you're still on this tired ass situation with Cold Killer and K Rika. Like, it's just going to keep going back and forth. Everyone is tired of it. Even DTB's tired of it. I forgot the other person that intervened that said they're tired of it too. It's like, it's an ongoing battle. We all know you can beat up K Rika. Like, you're not getting any cool points for that. Why'd you keep fighting them? Then on top of that as well, I don't know why she keeps putting the wigs. This is the second or third time she's put someone's wig in her vagina or in between her bum and stuff. And I'm thinking this is disgusting behaviour and it's nasty. I also don't get why Natalie is taking Biggie off the list when she was antagonising Biggie first. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm glad Biggie checked her and said, yeah, I'm still going to be performing because of course she is. She's signed to Zeus Music and of course with the deal with Atlanta Records as well. So of course they're going to have her on there regardless of what Natalie says because Natalie's opinion sometimes is not the final say so. I'm also glad that Rolly is talking about giving the other women opportunities as well, the new people that have come in to actually perform their songs and actually rehearse as well, because it shouldn't just be the same people performing every single time. Everyone should have the same opportunities since they're all sharing the same stage and platform. And I don't understand why Mariah again is still on the show because she's doing all this talking and then she hides behind Tasiki. Mariah, you're a 40-year-old woman that needs to stand up for themselves and stop hiding behind another grown woman. And I'm glad that Ciroc walked in and, she's made her entrance now as well. And I get what she's saying though. She didn't want to look like, she was scared of anyone as well, so she had to turn up to rehearsals. I also get where Natalie's coming from because the beef did technically start with Biggie because Ciroc snuck Biggie, whatever, but Biggie is not someone that ever gets her look back. Look at who she's standing next to. She's standing next to Big Lex, the one that slapped her in the face during the Chapter 1 reunion, so I'm not surprised at this. Scarface looks really nice though. The hair really does suit her and compliment her as well. I didn't understand why Mariah and Tasiki had to jump Ciroc when they could have asked for a head up as well. And Mariah knew that Ciroc needed that as well. And Mariah keeps hiding behind Tasiki and Tasiki jumped in. Tasiki could have just asked her, oh, this is what I need. But at the same time, Ciroc should have used her noggin as well and realised, okay, maybe she's not going to allow her to. But I don't think this is the first time that Siki has stepped in for Mariah anyway, but at the same time, Mariah has ran her own fade sometimes, but I guess she picks and chooses. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give the fight to Ciroc. Ciroc was in there, so was Tasiki as well, but Tasiki got 2 good hits and Ciroc was punching her more as well, so I'm going to say Ciroc won the fight, but I know people can decide what they want on their own accord. I also don't get why Mariah's crying. This is why I said don't invite her back next season. It seems like it was an eye for eye in regards to like they both made each other bleed, not that they got each other's eyes, but yeah. Navy is getting better at fighting, but someone should have known what was coming, especially if you're talking crap about someone's child as well. And the fact that Summer was leaking as well was crazy.